name is Pratt, and I want to talk to you about building your own home gym. So, start off, building a home gym, you have to pick a location. Typically, I want to talk about, bedrooms, basements, garage, barn, and shed. I personally chose the garage to at least base all of my information off of, but this is typically where you would find a person building a home gym. Things to consider when you are building a home gym: type of flooring, dirt, concrete, carpet, wood, depending if you're in a barn or a shed, garage. If you're in a house, you gotta be concerned about the underlying foundation of it. Make sure it's stable enough to hold weight if you are using that much weight. Gotta talk about the space. Spencer kind of went over it with the Viper. Couldn't really do a couple of the exercises because of the height of the room, but in a garage, you're limited on square foot. So an average gym or an average garage is 10 feet wide, 20 feet deep. It's 200 square feet. You really gotta know what you're gonna put in your gym and how you can utilize it the best. So you also have to talk about what you're gonna be doing. So if you're gonna do overhead presses, you gotta make sure you're not gonna hit the ceiling. You can't do anything where you're tossing a weight up in the air. So again, I said I went with the garage. There's the dimensions. Typically you're gonna have a concrete floor, so you have to figure out maybe how you're gonna protect the concrete floor depending on what kind of exercise you're gonna be doing. You also need to realize there might not be air conditioning or heat, so that's a big concern, especially here in Michigan. And you're probably gonna have about average lighting, which could be a concern depending on what time of day it is. All right, so what I had to question was, what are the essentials? If you're building a home gym, and I wanted to talk about different kinds of home gyms, how do I compare them all together? So I actually took the first month of our football team's workouts, and that's what I based it off of. I had to be able to do every single thing that they had to be able to do. So I need a squat rack, bench press, barbell, weights. I need to be able to do a lot of different things in my small space. So this is my breakdown of flooring for a lot of my options. So talked to Coach Mack, and we were talking about using horse stall mats, and I found not exactly horse stall mats, but something similar at Tractor Supply Company, and it was only $291 to fill my 200 square feet, which in the grand scheme of things, when you consider brand new tiling from Rogue.com at $1,600, that's much cheaper. So I wanted to have a nice range, so you can see the Tractor Supply Company, the Rogue. This is just an average of what I found on a lot of different other sites through shopping on Google. And I've also seen people use AirX pads if you're gonna be doing, quite expensive if you're gonna be doing, just deadlifts or things where you need a bar on the floor. Again, depends on what kind of exercise you're gonna be doing. And then last but not least, it's the same option, but instead of AirX pads, you might be able to use just the Rogue tiles. It's a little more expensive, but they're gonna last a lot longer. So my first gym is my Craigslist gym. Everything I found was on Craigslist, and I built the entire gym for $890. And I can do all the same exercises that our football team does. I got my flooring, $50. It's only gonna cover a little bit amount of space, but that's all I need to be able to do my deadlifts and hang clean and snatch and anything like that. I bought a nice weightlifting set, came with 370 pounds of weight, pretty good deal. I'm pretty surprised it was only $450 considering I can do all my pull-ups, I can do curls, came with all the weight, got a barbell, got the rack, everything. Bought some adjustable weight dumbbells, which is kind of nice because then I only need one set, doesn't take up a lot of space. Kettlebell, 25 bucks. I only bought one because we typically don't use it that much other than goblet squats. Resistance bands, only need a couple for stretching purposes and light resistance stuff. Physio ball, 5 bucks. Who wouldn't buy that? Medicine ball, again, I only got one of them because we only really need one weight. TRX set, I had to splurge, it was 100 bucks because it was brand new and it was the only one I could find in our area. And then I bought a bunch of PVC for 75 bucks, and it'll last me for a long time because it was a lot of PVC. So here's my expensive gym. As you can see, right around 4,000 bucks. Everything's brand new from Rogue.com. I can do all the same stuff that I can with my Craigslist gym, except it costs 4 times more. But The nice thing is we have the road wall mount rack, which Dustin and I kind of talked about. It's the one that folds out from the wall. So if I'm not using it, I can still park my car in my garage. But when I am, I got it available. It folds out, really nice, still stable. Beater bar, it was their cheapest bar. They go up to like 1,500 bucks. So I went with the cheapest one possible. 350 bucks of bumpers. They charge you a lot of money for sets of weight. That's 42 bucks for a pair of 5-pound weights. Again, adjustable bench, brand new. There's the flooring again, kettlebell, medicine ball, resistance bands, got everything in there. So this is kind of a picture you can see. Here's the wall mount rack. It folds right up nice, right to your garage wall. Brand new bench, tons of different kinds of medicine balls, brand new rogue kettlebells, nice shiny looking. And those are just the basic black bumpers. They go up a lot higher than that in pricing. So then I wanted to go with a DIY gym. So if I make all my stuff myself, how much money am I gonna save? What am I gonna do? And not all the items I found out you could make at home. Like I can't really make resistance bands. It's really difficult. But I did find that all the items that I wanted to make, and I can still do the same workout, under $100 an item. So first we got the squat rack, and it's actually a very nice sturdy squat rack. I can do my pull-ups on it. It's got J hooks, it's got safety bars. This is kind of all the material you need to make it. And the total to make this one actually was $100, but $100 for a squat rack as opposed to thousands upon thousands of dollars. That's not a bad deal at all. So this is, I wanted to go with another option, squat stand instead of a squat rack. So right here, we actually have 5 or 6 2x4s screwed together. They have multiple levels. So you can use the squat rack as the top of it. A little bit shorter person can use this one, and then you actually have an option to do a bench press. And it actually has a stable base. There's also other versions of this where you cement the boards together in like a 5-gallon painter's bucket. So you kind of just have to be careful with the stability of it. This one was kind of nice because it doesn't take up a lot of space. It's right up against the wall. And they have options that you can obviously go down to bench, taller people can use it. And both of these you can build for 50 bucks. Here's my next options. So if you want to build a kettlebell, at least to only use for kettlebell swings, to change it to do everything else you want, you just would put some elbows on it, add a couple more pieces of steel, and then a top portion to it. But you can, the website I found, they were like, oh, you can build it for like 36 seconds, and it costs 30 bucks. That's not bad if you're just looking for a kettlebell instead of paying hundreds of dollars for one. And the benefit to this one is you just unscrew the bottom, add some plate weights on it, and you can go up to any weight you want. The even more DIY option, you take an old basketball, you fill it with sand, cement, whatever you want, and you actually take a PVC, heat it up, bend it, and cement, or you can cement it down into the basketball and then just reseal it. This is an option for a medicine ball, again using a basketball. They recommended using salt pellets because if the ball breaks open, you're not going to have sand spilling everywhere. It's a pretty easy cleanup, but this was like 20 bucks, buying everything. And then other options I found, so we talked about the slosh pipe. So you just fill up the PVC with some water and then close up the ends. The version I saw, they used like a 9-foot PVC, so that way it was a little more unstable. Farmer's walk bars, you can make tons of different ways. You can make it with steel poles. You can make it kind of like a sled version almost, with heavy duty wood handles in the middle. And then, yeah, the steel handles. Parallels you can use for like dip bars. You can use them as push-up stands. You can use them for a lot of different things. Options using water. Milk jugs, after you get done with them, you just fill it up with water. You can use them for light enough weight to do shoulder raise, curls, whatever you want. Big water cooler jugs that you'd find in like the water cooler at work, you could use for a lot of different options, like farmer's walks, again, bench presses. Physio ball. So just to make it One, either more stable if you're planning on sitting on it or using it for more stability purposes, or you could use it for actual weight, you could use it for abs, and then it adds the instability with the water. You can also use sand for all of these. And then another thing I found, if you're looking to do barbell storage, it's a really nice version. If you don't have a nice rack like we do, you can just put it up against the wall, minimizes the amount of space that all the barbells take up, and these are all made out of wood. So my ideal gym, kind of a combination of everything. You know, it's nice if you can have a little bit of stuff you make yourself. You know, but I decided to go, you know, I wanted the Rogue wall-mounted rack because I thought that would probably be the easiest version for me to not take up a lot of space and at least help save my money. I went with the horse stall mats instead of the Rogue because they were cheaper versions and they accomplish the same thing. New bumpers and barbell because if you go with a little bit older version, you might not get it as good a quality out of it. I'd probably make a few things myself, like the kettlebells. I really like that idea. I thought it was cool. But you could also make, you know, maybe like a squat stand instead of buying a giant rack. That's a good option, I think. I would buy an adjustable bench because they're a little more difficult to make, and you're not going to get really good quality. And plus, you're not going to be able to make it as adjustable, I would say. I'd probably buy maybe a couple kettlebells, but I really do like the making your own option. But adjustable weight dumbbells because they conserve more space instead of buying tons and tons and tons of dumbbells. And all my references for everything, all my Craigslist stuff, and that's it.